You're listening to The Moose and the Loose, your 10 minutes action-packed financial podcast with your host, Mikey Hu. Hey, what's up, Market Moose? This is Mike from The Moose on the Loose. I hope you are doing well today. Today's Business Friday, so we are going to talk about my trip to Iceland. I know that many of you are travelers and you are probably eager to know what I did and how I appreciated this magnificent country. To be honest, it was probably my favorite trip that I've done as of the past few years. Of course, like hiking Mount Kilimanjaro was like a unique experience, but in terms of traveling the country, I think that Iceland has been definitely an amazing place. Of course, you need to be active when you travel. You need to drive a little bit. You need to go to do outdoor activities because if you're looking for urban area or just like relaxing in an hotel, maybe it's not exactly the right place, or you're going to find it, but it's going to be incredibly expensive. So what we did for Iceland, we spent like 2 weeks there. We rented a small RV for 11 days. So we did the Ring Road one. So we toured the entire island, which is quite easy to do within 10 days. Actually, we did not feel rush or anything. Most of the time I was driving maybe like 2-3 hours maximum. Like the longest time that I drove for one day was about 5 hours, but it was like cut between like a stop here and there to go see a waterfall or to do an activity. So it wasn't that bad at all. And one major advantage is you get off the plane and then you can get your RV almost right away. So I rented with McRent. I have nothing but good things to say about them. The service was great. It's like 5-minute drive away from the airport. So you take a taxi, you get there, you get your RV, and then up you go. So that was like really good. The RV was in super great shape, great condition. When I returned it back, no hidden fees or no anything, like no bad surprises. So definitely a good place to go if you're looking for a larger RV. Of course, we were like with 2 teenagers and my wife. If not, I would have like just rented like a larger van instead of a motorhome, but the motorhome was definitely a good thing, especially because there are incredibly long days over there, right? So while we were there, it was at the beginning of July, so basically I never saw like the night. It's like the sun was going down around midnight, but then going back up around like sunrise was around like little bit before 4 a.m. So even if you wake up at 2 a.m. in the night, there's still some light over there. So it gives you very long days. So you can do activities in the morning, you can rest a little bit and then drive a little bit more, do more activities, and then it's like 8 or 9 p.m. You can have a supper and still it's like bright light everywhere. So your body does not get this signal that it should be tired. So that was just a very good way to do it. Just have to be careful with the wind. So that was one thing that was a bit surprising for me because I knew it was windy, but not enough to move the actual RV. But yes, so you have to keep track of that. But again, McRent gave me some applications, some websites to follow, so we're able to dodge the major wind, and it did not affect our trip. So one thing that I really enjoyed about Iceland in general is that there are not that many people, not that many tourists. So if you wake up early and you go see Gullfoss, for example, which is super popular, well, we were there around like 8 a.m. in the morning and we were like 5 people. And that was pretty much it. So we were almost all alone. That was just amazing to be there. And of course, it gets a little bit more crowded throughout the day, but nothing compared to other like European countries if you've been. A few activities that I've done that I really, really enjoy. First, Vik, the small village over there, amazing place. And there's there's a trip to go see a lava, not a lava tunnel, but a ice tunnel, ice cave. From there, that day for the ice cave, you get on a big jeep, and then you get to see like amazing landscape on top of like walking into the beginning of a glacier and entering into an ice tunnel. That was just amazing. I can only imagine if you do that during winter time, where you can actually explore even more. But that was a very, very cool day. Another thing that I really enjoyed was, of course, the natural bath. We didn't go to the Blue Lagoon because it was just crazy expensive, and we did like 2 other natural baths before getting back to Reykjavik. So the trip was, we got off the airplane, we got into the motorhome for 11 days, and then we ended up in Reykjavik for the last 3 days. So we decided not to go to the Blue Lagoon, but instead of going to Mivat, there's like a very nice thermal place. We enjoyed it a lot. Of course, with like 2 teenagers, it was just already more than enough. There's another place also. Those are like hot springs. And at a time, it's going to be off to say all of those names. But if you have any questions, just reach me out on Twitter or send me an email at david@stocksrock.com. Use the contact form. I'll be more than happy to connect with you and give you the right names. But anyway, there's like a hot spring where you have to hike about, like, I would say 4 or 5 kilometers in the mountains, which is a pretty nice hike. And then you get to the hot springs, which are more natural, and it's near Reykjavik. The name is Reykjadalur. I probably destroyed the whole name, so I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, so you can easily find it. If not, just send me an email. I'll be able to help you that. So we did those 2 natural baths. It was kind of very cool, very relaxing. I really enjoyed the one that is in nature. Just because of the scenery and everything, but just be aware that you have to hike a little bit to get there. We did rafting with Viking rafting. That was such an amazing experience to be in a canyon there, because the overall, I did rafting before, but the overall scenery over there is just breathtaking. So really, really enjoyed that. And of course, we went to see Diamond Beach, but during summertime, there's no diamonds. So you're going to be disappointed by that. However, you will see a lot of glaciers. So I was fortunate this year, like super fortunate, to see glaciers in Argentina, and then another time in Iceland. So that also was one of our highlight of the day. Quick trip, you can stay there for a few hours, and then you keep on driving, moving on to the ring road. So that was a very nice stop during our road trip. A few waterfalls, of course, because you cannot go to Iceland without seeing waterfalls. But my favorite ones, Gullfoss, obviously like a classic one, big, huge, massive, very like with a lot of strength. So that was great. I really enjoyed also Seljalandfoss. This is the one where you can go behind the waterfall. So we took amazing picture over there. Of course, this one was a little bit more crowded, even though we got there around like 7-8 p.m. But it's definitely worth it. It's on your way to go to Vik, so you definitely want to do that trip and make a good stop there. That was just a great place to take picture. And another one that I really enjoyed, because there was a hike before, about like 5K hike, not that difficult, but just enough to just like get your legs moving. Angifoss near Eglisstadir. This one is great because it's a huge one, and there are like layers of rocks of like color red. So that again makes amazing pictures, and you can get the reward once you did the hike and then you get there. So that was like a very nice place to go. So we toured the entire place. We did some horseback riding as well, so that was a lot of fun. I messed up, kind of funny, but I'm gonna leave you on that note because it's worth it. I booked a kayak trip, but I messed up 2 names, and I realized the day before that I was like 8-hour drive, and I thought it was just like near where I was. So anyways, be very careful with all those Icelandic names. It's really hard to pronounce, really hard to recognize them, and I definitely missed that and booked a kayak trip that I just lost. So we didn't go kayaking, unfortunately. So that was like the only thing that went wrong during that trip. We ended up in Reykjavik for 3 days. That was like more than enough for us. We just enjoyed like going to cafes, having like lamb soup in a bowl of breads, which is amazing. just hanging out in like across the streets. Very nice, very clean city. Feel super safe. So yeah, definitely. And it was like great because we were able to leave our teenagers in the city, so they had their phone, they could walk around, and then we had like meetups throughout the day. But for the most of it, they were able to explore the city on their own, and we were on our own as well. So we could like I enjoyed like running. There's a road like on near the ocean in Reykjavik that you can run, so that was like also a great place to just relax and eat up like some good foods from Iceland, and that was great. One word of caution before I let you go: like if you're Canadian, you're going to find that incredibly expensive. Like everything is like ridiculously expensive. Like it's pretty much like twice the price I pay for everything. So just prepare your budget accordingly, and then you're going to enjoy your trip. So again, if you have any questions about the trip or anything that I did not mention, because of course in 14 days we did a lot, we saw a lot, just send me an email, just reach me out on Twitter. My DMs are open. It will be more than happy to help you out. So on Monday, we're going to going back to talking about investment. Bank of Canada cut their rates. There's a lot of things going on. So that's going to be an amazing week. And until then, don't forget to stay invested.
Hey, welcome to the disclaimer. If you're listening to The Moose and the Loose, you cannot really expect me to give you buy or sell recommendation or financial advice, right? You're here for fun, you're here for information and some entertainment. But I am not your financial advisor, I am not your broker, so therefore I'm not liable if you're losing money after listening to the podcast. If you're looking for some advice, go see a professional. If not, you can enjoy the show and do your due diligence after it.